Hello basketball players, my name is Alan from Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can make your grade 9 basketball team. So first off, a little bit about myself. I have been privileged to be able to play basketball since I was in grade 1, and also the highest level I was able to attain was to play in the NBA Development League for the Erie Bayhawks in a training camp. Now, going into grade 9 could be a stressful time for you. You might be going into a new high school, you might be going into a new school in general, and you of course don't know the coach, or you may not know the coach. You may not also know the players that are on the team. You might know 2 or 3 who might be trying out, but you don't really know who's on the team. So you don't really know what the team is going to be made of, and if you fit the mold to be able to play for that team. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is to find out who the basketball coach is for that team, the team that you're trying to try out for. And that is either the junior team, the 9-10 team, or the senior team. If you're really good and you want to try out and see if you can make the senior team, then you need to find out who the coach is. And then my suggestion is, if you're really serious, go up to that coach and be like, okay, I know you're the coach of the team. What do you need out of a player who's trying out for your team? Do you know this? Do you know if there's any spots that are open for a player like myself? Questions like that. And if there is, and he's a really good coach, he'd be able to tell you, yeah, man, like you'd be probably a point guard or something. I want you to be able to be a great ball handler, somebody who can dribble with their head up, pass really well, and if you can, stretch the floor to be a three-point threat. Now, if a coach is open like that to you, that's fantastic. And now what you need to do is, even if you already know, hey, I'm really good at handling the ball, I'm okay at passing, and I'm fantastic at shooting the three-point shot. If you already know that, or let's say that's I fit just your mold right there, then what you can do is not just go out and practice the shooting because you're already really good at shooting. What you need to do is to now still practice the shooting, but your main objective there would be to get your ball handling skills down, maybe set up a few targets, go sprinting down the court, try to do one-hand and two-hand passes to those targets, and then that way you're able to now learn and practice your dribbling and passing skills. Now let's say it's too late. You didn't ask at the beginning of the season, you're there, you've got maybe a week before tryouts, and you just want to make that team. I would still go up to the coach and ask what he's looking for out of his players. Obviously, this is showing coachability, because now you're going up to the coach and you're saying, hey, what can I do to get better to make your team? And as a championship coach in the past for myself, I definitely love when players come up to me and say, hey, I know that I'm the 7th or 8th man on the team right now, but how can I get better so I can be a starter? That is something I absolutely love in my players, and a lot of coaches do love that as well. So what you can do before practice, before tryouts, is to go up to the coach and ask, what do you think of me? And what do you think that I need to do to improve? Now, if he says, I've never seen you before, so I have no idea, you say, okay, I'm thinking maybe a guard, that kind of thing. Or maybe I'm thinking of playing center. Do you think I would fit that role? And what do you look at in a center to be successful on your team? And questions like that will show to that coach that you mean business, you are serious about playing basketball, and you're going to be a perfect, or hopefully a perfect fit for his team. Okay, so now it's tryout time. You've got the basketball in your hands, you're in the middle of tryouts. What are you going to do? First off, you're not going to be going outside of your comfort zone. So if you're a guard and you're saying, man, I'd love to break that guy's ankles right now, but let's say you're a shooting guard, you're not necessarily a guard who's going to be able to break somebody's ankles, don't try and break somebody's ankles. Don't go out of your comfort zone in things that you're either not very good at or things that you need to improve on. Now, that's what you do in practice. That's not necessarily what you do in tryouts. So now you're in tryouts, you're doing everything that you're used to. You're really good at shooting the ball, so you're shooting the ball. You're really good at making that pass, or you're really good in that low post. You've got that low post, you got those one dribble moves and you're going up. That's fantastic. But now let's say the coach says, man, I want you You're coming down on the fast break, 3-on-2, and you're going out to the shoulder. I don't want you to go out to the shoulder. I want you to cut at the free throw line extended. I want you to cut right down towards the net, and that's going to make you get some easy baskets. Now for you, I would suggest you do exactly what the coach says. You cut at the free throw line extended. You have your hand up asking for the ball. You get that ball and you go up for the layup or the dunk. Now, you've done exactly what the coach said, so you're showing coachability. Nobody wants a player on their team who says, yeah, I get the idea of cutting to the rim. I get the idea of going for that layup, but that's only 2 points. I really want 3 points. I want to show my 3-point skills, so I'm not going to do what you said, coach. I'm going to continue out to that corner and jack up some J's. The coach, even if you're hitting 100%, if the coach says, cut towards the rim, because that's showing coachability. You may need to have that in game. For example, 5 seconds left and the coach says we need a layup. A layup's a lot easier to make than a 3-point shot, I guarantee you. And I'm a really good 3-point shooter. But let's also remember all the small things that coaches pay attention to and players don't. So players pay attention to, oh man, I broke that guy's ankles. I jacked up a ton of J's and I got them all, got a lot of them. I've drove towards the rim, I've thrown down a few dunks. But what about the small things? Coaches also look at the small things. How many turnovers did you get? Are you dribbling the ball up the court and you're turning the ball over 50% of the time you get up the court? Or are you not going for that defensive rebound? You're a center. You're not going for that defensive rebound to get the ball up court. What you're doing instead is, oh yeah, that's nice. That's a rebound. Somebody else can get that. I'm going to get up the court so I can get a fast break dunk. No. Get all the small things. Get the rebounds. Remember what Kawhi Leonard says. Board man gets paid. There's nothing more false or nothing more true about that statement. 100% of the time, if you get a lot of boards, you are going to be making the team and you're going to be making probably a few scholarships. There's a player that I was doing a highlight tape for last year, and he was averaging 18 to 19 rebounds per game. 4 points per game, but 18 to 19 rebounds per game. He got a D1 scholarship. 18 to 19 rebounds per game, 2 to 3 blocks per game, 4 points. Even though his offensive game isn't there, they can build that in university, they can build that in college, but there's some tangibles there. The blocking ability, 2 to 3, sometimes 4 blocks in a game, 18, 19, 20 rebounds in a game. That's things that players really go for, and if you're a player who's really going for that, then it's going to show to your coach that, man, we have other players who can score. I'm going to get you for the rebounds. You're going to get every single offensive rebound. You're going to be passing it back out for another shot because we know you're going to get that rebound again. So think of all the small things. Turnovers, rebounds, steals, points per possession versus turnovers. So are you getting a lot of assists and points versus how many turnovers you're gaining? Things like that. So now this video is being posted at the beginning of September, which is roughly when school starts, at least up here in Canada and most of the United States. Now, from there, if you haven't had tryouts yet, I want you to get into the weight gym and I want you to start working out. And that's, if you're just starting, body weight exercises, squats, things like that, lunges, skipping, toe hops. I've got tons of exercises on this channel. Do those right now. Get to the weight room. Do some core exercises. Get stronger because you're going to need it playing at the high school level. Especially if you're a smaller grade 9 player. There's lots of guards in the world. Take that as advice. If you're a guard, you need to bring something special to the table. And being a shorter guard doesn't limit you at all. You can be a great shooter. You can be a great ball handler, passer. But if you're stronger than your opponent, it's going to help you a ton. Whether you're a center, a guard, whatever it may be, it's going to help you. I had a player who, when I was in high school, I was a grade 12, there was a grade 9 kid coming, or grade 8 kid coming up to grade 9. And he was 6'11". He was a massive, massive player. His sister was huge as well. She was like 6'5", 6'6". She was a couple years older than him. And he was coming in, he was a big dude. He was heavy, he was wide. But when he got into the low post, he couldn't play senior. Even though his height was there, he was not able to play senior because he was not strong enough. So keep that in your mind. Be strong as well. Do all the small things. Rebound, steals. Do not turn over the ball. Be coachable, and you will make that team. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another twice a day basketball video.